Hello, and welcome to the Mobile User Acquisition Show, a podcast to help you unlock tremendous growth for your app. My name is Shamant Rao. I'm the CEO of the boutique growth marketing firm Rocketship HQ and host of the podcast Mobile User Acquisition Show. In each episode, we feature experts in the field of mobile growth and discuss strategies, tips, and pointers from the leading edge of mobile growth marketing. By the end of each episode, you will have gained actionable and tactical insights that will help you make more informed decisions in your own work around growth. The Mobile User Acquisition Show is produced by Meryl Vincent, Content Marketing Manager at Rocketship HQ.
Our guest today is Tobias Boerner. Tobias is the co-founder at Wallet Ads, Appic, and Admiral Studio. In today's episode, we talk about wallet ads and how users' history on the blockchain allows hyper-targeting of ads to them on Web3. We talk about brands in the ecosystem that are leveraging this feature very effectively. And we also talk about the potential for spam in this Wild West world. For a tiny peek into the future of what performance marketing could be like, definitely check this episode out. I'm very excited to welcome Tobias Boerner to the Mobile User Acquisition Show. Tobias, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, excited to have you, but particularly because of the topic we're going to talk about today, which is something I'm very, very fascinated about. And I'm sure a lot of people are curious about, right? Certainly Web3 crypto is certainly a bit of a buzzword, bit of a very much in the zeitgeist for a while now. And what I think a lot of people are curious about is how growth marketing, how performance marketing is going to work and operate in that paradigm. And it's certainly something, Toby, you had a lot of insight and experience around. So I'm excited to dive into all of that with you today, right? Let's start with some of the basics, right? Can you help us understand in what way does the blockchain as it's constructed, right, or as it's architected, enable performance marketing for Web3? What's the sort of data available that makes performance marketing easy or viable for Web3?
From our point of view, the good thing about blockchain data is it's public, so it's public data, but in the same time it's private somehow, right? Because you don't know who's behind a wallet ID, and everything what a wallet owner does is public, stored in the blockchain, and we are already longer involved now in the crypto environment, and now it's time to combine our marketing expertise from the Web2 world with the Web3 world, and there are a couple of awesome opportunities. And to your data question, the data for performance marketing campaign is very similar to what marketing managers knows. For example, I'll give you a few ideas. What we use for our algorithm, it's the activity of the wallet, which is a key data point. Then the available credit in the wallets. It's a good indicator. Then in general, the buying behavior and the interests of the recent buys, and those KPIs just an example of a data set what we use for our algorithm for optimizing a campaign towards performance.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, because the blockchain has public data, it obviously doesn't have my name, but it still has the wallet IDs, which you can query to understand what's the balance in the wallets, what has the performance, the purchase history been, and that can basically tailor offers to people. Did I understand it correctly? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And from my understanding, you are also able to say, oh, this particular wallet made purchases of such and such NFTs, has such and such a token balance. Are you able to identify it at that level of granularity as well? What's the level of granularity at which you're able to identify this data?
If it's stored on the blockchain, we have access to everything as described now.
Got it. Okay, so let's assume you know and understand users' transaction history. You understand whatever's in the blockchain. What happens next? How does that get used for actual performance marketing? What's the mechanism by which you show ads to these people?
Yeah, I will just describe the platform, how this will look like for a performance marketer. It's self-serve platform, so you can basically upload a image, like a mini clip. You can define your marketing message, and then you can drop this message directly in the wallets of your maybe future customers, and while do so, you can store restore the wallet ID to make also a proper tracking afterwards, to see if this wallet in the future do something after you drop the message. So this also helps for like very accurate reporting, and also for like I mean, this is by the name performance marketing. You have to understand what drives the performance, and if you can make a very good match afterwards, then you probably need no clicks for that, right? You can just matching the IDs.
Sure. Right. And is this sort of different for different blockchains, like for Ethereum or Solana? Is this going to be how does this vary according to the different blockchains, I would say?
It doesn't matter which platforms it is, but what matters is, of course, the gas fee.
Yeah.
So that is the price what you have to spend for a drop, and then it makes the most sense to using a chain which has not super high gas fees.
Right. And which ones would those be?
In our case, we're using the Matic tokens, sending out the drops, right?
Sure. So you're noticing, across the blockchain, your algorithms noticing, hey, these are the users that have such and such performance history, transaction history. Let's airdrop, let's drop these ads into their wallets based on what we think could be their affinity. And obviously, you're still paying the gas fees, but hopefully that's not insane. And for the end user, let's just say I'm the end user, you decide based on my transaction history, you will show an ad or a message to me. What does that experience look like for me?
Like the app look like as a typical NFT. If you have already probably a few in your wallet, and this should in this case look like very natively. So it's a native drop. It look like an NFT, and in the ideally world, it has also a nice utility for you. So, and it will land directly in your digital crypto wallet. So
got it. So I would see basically an alert or an image in my wallet saying, hey.
Exactly. Like if you would combine it to or like compare to a Web3 environment, I think to give an example, probably it would be in like a kind of a coupon or like a benefit or flyer directly in your shopping basket.
Sure.
So maybe this is a good comparison to understand how it will look like in the Web2 world.
Sure.
I mean, the trick here is I think that the targeting and in the best case, also any kind of utility, any added value of the wallet owner.
Sure, sure. Right. And I know the last time we spoke, we did talk a bit about utilities, right? Help us understand what that means. And, I can also preface that by saying, I think with NFTs, there's a bit of a bad rap in that, oh, it's just a JPEG that nobody cares about, right? Some people kind of make fun of that. And therefore, if you're like, oh, okay, I have a wallet and you're sending me a free NFT and it's just like a JPEG, it doesn't make sense. And I know you said, hey, the NFT has to have some utility when we last spoke. Can you explain that to help people understand what the value to the end user is? Because it's not just going to be some JPEG that's sitting in my wallet.
Yeah, this really depends on the message of the advertiser. But yeah, normally in the Web3, it's all about access to something, or a utility that has something interesting to the wallet owner. And I mean, I think it's fair to say that a price reduction could be a utility, and also a discount or a gift, something. I think like typical coupon could be also a fair value. I think recently Starbucks is announcing something about that. I think the coupon business in the Web3 world is huge. So, and but I'm 100% with you that if we're talking about just a simple JPEG, this can't be the end game, right? So now it's on us also to developing here the future of those kind of ads and make it very attractive also to the wallet owners.
Yeah, I think coupons is a good analogy, right? And I know you mentioned Starbucks, but are there other companies or brands that you feel are doing a good job of defining a utility in a way that isn't just like, oh, this is just a JPEG?
Yeah, there are a lot of leading brands out there. They're jumping now into this environment. Personally, what I really like, I mean, I like the brand of it's Adidas. They have also an NFT collection with a exclusive access to streetwear, which is, I think, a good sign that like also big brands jumping in this direction. And another example where I think the utility is nice is the running and move app Steppen. It's like environment from the app business.
Yeah,
it's move to earn. So that means if you work or run outside, you get coins for your run. But you need to be eligible for earning coins. You need a NFT sneaker. You need to buy them, and once you have a few, then you are eligible to start earning the coins. And I think this direction, it's a nice way to incentivize people to get rid of their laziness somehow.
Yeah, right. And certainly, and so the way you're envisioning some of this is maybe Steppen or Adidas could drop an NFT inside a user's wallet and say, hey, here's a free sneaker NFT, and if you sign up, you can continue to move to earn, and that could be the potential offer. Did I understand that correctly? Good.
Yeah, this is also something like what we have already on the Salesforce platform with wallet ads, so that people, companies, they have already a very big chunk of customers like saved in their own data set, and they can upload this to the system and automatically distribute the message to the customer. So like it's kind of a MailChimp for the NFT space, so that you can start communicating with your crypto guys. Because in the crypto world, we have maybe not the opportunity to send them a push notification or an email. Not to everyone. Maybe you can combine it with your data set, but I think in the near future it makes also sense that you can use your wallet ID to log in to something, that you just have your wallet for the logins, and you don't need to sign up with an email and with your like mobile phone number and stuff. That I think there are already some changes ahead of us.
Yeah, definitely, right. And I think it's a good analogy to think about this as a CRM for Web3, if you will, what you're describing, as much as it is about, you could still advertise to a completely new user, but you could also advertise to your existing user base if you have that information, their wallet IDs, right? When I think about this model, one of the things I wonder about is that there is obviously this is somewhat early days, but there could be the risk that a lot of advertisers will just spam users' wallet. Yes, there are folks that have somewhat intelligent utilities like Adidas and Stefan that you talked about, but there'll also be like a lot of people that just say, oh, here's a JPEG, here's a JPEG, here's a JPEG. So is there a risk that just users are going to get spammed, right? And how do you think about this risk?
So from my past experience, spam becomes a problem on almost every digital channel. So that's for sure. And I think spam is already a huge topic in the NFT and cryptos case, on also like on Twitter, on like Reddit, everywhere. It's a thing. However, we think the gas fees will prevent at least a little bit for like the massive spam waves from that, because you have to pay for sending out this. And if you have to pay for something, I think there is some obstacle there by nature. But what we have already built in our self-serve campaign planner, it's that the ads gets automatically deleted. So there is no choice to like stay forever. So this function will be the function is directly integrated in the smart contract to rent live automatically to all live campaigns, and brands can choose between 7 days, 21 days, 90 days. So that's, I think it's very important to have this proactively on the agenda. And like a block function it's important that you can upload the wallet IDs they have to block. And we believe also same thing what you have on email communication, unsubscribe. It's something what you what customers were looking for.
Yeah, and you're right that on any digital platform, spam is definitely something you need to account for, right? And I'm just reminded of like early Facebook Canvas apps and games where I would go on to Facebook and they're like, here's a cow, here's a house, here's a pig, from a lot of the farming games. And I'm like, oh, this is spam. And obviously Facebook clamped down on that immediately. And they said, oh, you can't, we're going to put limits on the kind of viral invites you can send. And, at a platform level, they did some regulation, but it sounds like, that's going to be important. It is going to be important to regulate this in some manner. And obviously, like you said, the gas fees offer a natural barrier anyway, right? And out of curiosity, the gas fees, what is that something you can quantify on, just roughly? Let's just say if I needed to reach, let's just say 1,000 people using the wallet ads that you're talking about, what's the level of gas fees we're talking here?
It's different from day to day, so they're changing all the time. So it's not so easy to answer, but we will put this in the CPM calculation as an additional price point.
Yeah. But is there like a ballpark roughly?
It's not too expensive. So I have no exactly the numbers in place, but I think for 1,000 send outs, it's €100. It's something this direction. It's based on eCPM. It's different about the time and the chain, of course, it's
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah.
It's very hard to say to give an average because it's
Sure.
really up to us which route we are choosing.
Sure, sure. Right. And certainly there can be variables around the gas fees. And, which also makes me wonder what's the such CPMs one could expect, if they wanted to reach people via this model, and how do the CPMs compare with the Web2 world?
We're right now in the testing environment, and what we can see so far, it's approximately like for if we go broad in the markets, approximately around 30 to 40 eCPM.
Okay, 30 to 40, and if it's much more targeted, what would that look like?
It's around 80.
80. Okay. Yeah. And obviously, you did say this can be much more targeted. So the value is in the downstream metrics as much as in how highly targeted some of these are. Right. Yeah. And the other aspect I wonder about is if you're airdropping NFTs into somebody's wallet, right? So if you're just sending me an Adidas or Steppen or Starbucks saying Starbucks NFT saying, hey, check out Starbucks, here's what it is. You're offering me an incentive to try the brand. And the obvious parallel I can think of is that this can seem like incentivized ads in Web2. And if my experience is anything to judge this by, the retention is terrible for incentivized ads across verticals, that at least that I have seen. So is there a risk that users will just engage with the ad just for the incentive, then they'll just run away? And how do you think about this particular risk?
I think like it, you have to split between the incentivized traffic. If you get something, if you do something, this is what I know in the mobile environment. For example, if you download this app and you get 100 credits somewhere, those customers have a very, very bad retention for sure. In this case here, I think you get it without doing something, and then it's on the advertiser side, and I'm sure there are very creative advertisers out there. They will come up with the right ideas. They will show up with the right ideas, that they send out the right message. And again, this could be a price reduction. Imagine you get an airdrop with 50% discount of your next Starbucks coffee. So this I don't believe that this will hurt the retention somehow. You know what I mean? If it's advantage or as an access, for example, you get an access pass for a very big digital event in the meta environment. Those customers already have the affinity to like fintech, crypto, NFT, metaverse space. And if you have attracting messages, I think then also a coupon message can work very well and adding a value for both sides.
Yeah, right. And like, as you said, maybe there's just a natural price discovery thing that will come in there. And obviously, the smarter the advertisers are, the more they can tailor their offers to what's happening here, right? So the other aspect to be that I also wonder about is, you said, hey, the blockchain's public, the data transaction data is public, and you can use that to airdrop NFTs to them. Do you think this could result in concerns about privacy, right? And obviously that's been top of mind for a lot of marketers with the IDFA lately. Do you think that has any scope of risk or any risk of a backlash because of privacy concerns?
I mean, as a, my passion is also for performance marketing, and like the whole IDFA topic, it's top of mind for like a lot of people right now. I could imagine that the first party who will concern about that is probably Apple, because they can maybe losing control somehow, because blockchain isn't so easy to control. I hope also not for Apple, and yeah, but it is public, and if you have something to hide, maybe you stay better away from that, or you stay in the offline world using still fiat. For anyone else, I think it's could be a great opportunity for, as I explained you already, log in with my wallet somewhere without sharing too much data, just my wallet ID, and then also giving the opportunity to advertisers to make a match afterwards if it works somehow. So I think it could be interesting. So like imagine you go to Amazon Fresh store and then you just log in the store with your crypto wallet, and then instead of using your Amazon account, you can still pay and get access, and nobody knows that you as a person buy something on Amazon. I think this is also a very good use case for the future.
Yeah. And we were talking about this last time. It started to happen in actual Amazon Fresh stores. So certainly the future may not be that far away. And, like you said, right, the blockchain is public by design, right? And you're still not disclosing personally identifiable information. So which definitely makes it usable and amenable for this kind of targeted advertising that we're talking about, right? Toby, this has been very instructive to me, and it's certainly something that I have been trying to wrap my head around, and I've certainly taken notes. This definitely is the way that the future is going. I'm excited for everything you're building. I'm excited to see what happens next. But for now, I think this is a good place for us to start to wrap. Before we do that, can you tell folks how they can find out more about you and everything you're doing?
Yeah, the best way is to check in at my LinkedIn profile. It's Tobias Boerner, and they can find everything about me over there.
Yeah, wonderful. We will link to that. And do you also want to mention the Wallet Ads website as well?
Yeah, I mean, right now we in the alpha phase. So if everyone out there like to get an exclusive invite to that, we open this up now to the advertisers in the alpha program. Up to 5 brands are possible to play with it, and yeah, to learn. We have to learn a lot. I think advertisers have to learn a lot, and yeah, to let it grow together.
Excellent. Toby, thank you so much for your time. I'm excited to put this episode out into the world.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
For more tips, pointers, and strategies from the leading edge of mobile user acquisition, subscribe to our YouTube channel right here, or check out our blog, rocketship.hq.com/blog.